Happy New Year!
Hello, Happy New Year!
Hi, Duran. Duran is in the chat. Say Wong was in here. Of course he was. Hello, Say
Of
Wong.
course.
I hope you're all doing well and had a good holiday season. We are back here on Kyber Cave Productions. As you probably noticed, we didn't have a whole lot of content while we were off, and we were all just exhausted. But we also have some other like behind the scenes stuff that we've been working on. So, like the first
Very
episode
exciting.
we had a teaser trailer out for the new show, The New Order, that came out, and that show will hopefully premiere in a week. In just under a week. So I'm very excited about that. Keep an eye out for that. It is a role-playing game with several of us being characters. Aubrey is our dungeon master, leading us through on our adventure, which has been a lot of fun. This last recording was really exciting. We hated that we had to end because it was getting kind of late, but it was an exciting moment. We're like, that's going to be good. Leave it there.
Good cliffhangers. Always draws them back in.
How was your holiday season, sir?
Mine was very, very good. Not too bad at all. Other than yesterday, we made a fantastic trip to LA. We went to the grand opening of the LA, the Lightspeed Academy in Westminster. And aside getting into being in this weird apocalyptic car crash that happened.
I saw your live on it. I saw it later.
Oh, it was so weird. Visibility was so low. It was a 29 car pileup. And so we were very fortunate. Unfortunately, some other people weren't quite as fortunate, but we made it down to the Lightspeed grand opening. It was a fantastic time. I met a couple of people. In fact, I had somebody that told me you did an excellent job on your interview for the ladies of the lightsaber.
Yay.
She tuned in specifically to watch that, and she said she totally enjoyed that episode. So it was kind of cool going out and meeting people that actually know who we are.
Yeah, that's it. That's such a strange feeling in a sense. Like Van and I were talking about I might accompany him on a convention on the 21st. And I swear, if I'm there and I come across someone that like knows who I am, that would be so surreal. Like really surreal. Because it's just like not something your brain connects with.
We do these shows, and of course they're live shows and stuff, but then especially in the beginning, you just assume nobody's actually watching. So when somebody watches, they're like, oh, I love that episode when you talk to such and such. You're like, oh my God, you saw that?
It's not that I don't think no one's watching, because we've got people watching. It's more like your brain hasn't had that connection meeting them in person and them actually knowing who you are.
Right.
And so that when that does happen, like I meet someone, go, oh, you're Metso. I'll be like, yeah. Oh my gosh, you know who I am. That's just I think I will always feel that way. Like even so, for those who don't know, I was streaming on Twitch. I had to actually stop streaming on Twitch, and I'm strictly doing YouTube uploads now. So you want to find me on YouTube on my personal channel? It's Metso JD. I didn't change my name from my recording the other night. Now I feel like I need to change that. It just says Ella Beer, which is my character. Okay. So I think like even if my YouTube channel or this YouTube channel had like 500,000 plus subscribers, I will always, or millions. Hi, John. Hey, I'm so happy to see you. Okay.
Oh,
sorry.
I can't see the chat.
I'm very happy to see John. So even if our channel had 500,000, 3 million subscribers, whatever, I still would have that people know me feeling.
Right.
Because you inside you know who you are, and your brain doesn't think everybody knows who I am, kind of a thing. It's just kind of a surreal thing that I'll never ever get over when the first moment that does happen, because I haven't had that happen where like someone walks up and knows who I am, kind of a thing, because I don't go to the conventions very often anyway. And if someone does do that and I go with you on the 21st, it'll be the weirdest thing, but awesome at the same time.
You know what I find is funny? I've had it happen a couple of times where people know who Kyber Cave is, or they know who Kyber Cave Production is, but they don't know me. And I was like, I find it interesting that you know those things, but you don't know that, whatever.
Thank you, Sean. I'm just glad my energy is up. I haven't slept well in over a week, but it's more like just seeing you and then also being back tonight kind of gives you the energy, but seeing your name made me really, really happy. So One
Is it a
reason my
John I
energy's
know?
gonna went up.
I can't see the chats, unfortunately.
It's
tonight.
our John. Our John.
Our John? Wait, Ability TV John or John Michaels?
Ability TV John.
Woo! What's up, John? Happy
Yeah,
New
so
Year!
Van's having okay, guys. Van went to LA, and guess what? He left there. His entire laptop.
My
So he
mobile
can't
studio,
see-
basically. My
he's
headphones, my
which
microphone, everything I
if you
need,
tap
everything I
Van,
bring
if
to
you
do a show every week. It's in LA with Lightspeed right
so
now.
he can't. Apparently, he can't see comments. You should be able to tap on comments on there and see them.
Let's see.
You just it's on your actual StreamYard itself, but it's not a big deal. Anyway, I'll just tell you if anything important comes across. Like,
yes, I have found it. I can go to comments, but then I can't see the stream.
That's fine. You don't. I mean, if you need to check for questions during the interview, if the important one comes up and you haven't addressed it yet, I'll pop in. I'll pop on and say something. So,
thank you. I appreciate that. That would help me a lot.
Yeah. So if you guys, Van here is just using his phone from the shop. But I think the reason people may not know you, even though they know Kyber Cave, is currently you're on 2 shows a week. And you have some of the other hosts that are on like 3 or 4 shows during the week. So it's like it just depends on what they watch too.
Are you saying
John just also asked how the trip was.
The trip was really good. I was really excited. Oh wow, thanks. Wow, man, Steven just hooked me up. Okay.
He gave you a stand. Oh, did he give you a stand?
Oh wait, am I still through here? Hold on.
On your phone.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry. Okay. My bad. I didn't know what we were doing. Technical difficulties. It was a great trip.
That is really your life.
To see the new Lightspeed headquarters. To meet lots of new friends. I was really excited about how many people came out for the grand opening. The only thing that was kind of like interesting or strange is that it's inside a mall, which was great. It reminded me of Kyber Cave's roots. But in the mall, when you went in there was like signs saying that the mall was going to be torn down in like a year. So apparently they have like a 1-year contract in there, and then they have to find a new home.
You know, it's funny because you said technical difficulties. That is just your life. That is Van in a nutshell. He has technical difficulties. All right, guys. Well, you know what? It's our first night back, but guess what? What did we do for our first night? Our first thing?
Nerdy news.
Nerdy news. So what is first on the news, y'all? Yum Num Ewok Sushi. You want to know how to make it? We got information for you. So check out the sushi link coming up in the chat. It's also in the description below if you're watching our upload. You can actually learn how to make your own Ewok sushi. If you're too sensitive and don't want to eat the Ewoks, you could just look at make your own kind of creation. But I thought it was really cute having the Ewoks there. Oh gosh, no, we have these comments coming through. We got nerdy news. Yes. I just set the tab up so he can see chat. Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Stephen, very much. Stephen is the manager over at Kyber Cave. I really appreciate you doing that, Stephen. Makes my life a little bit easier. Next on the nerdy news, y'all, is the Star Wars Jedi Survivor team drills down in the Cal Kestis story. You want to know how they did it? You got the interview to tell you how. Coming up in the comments, and also again in the description if you're watching the upload. If you want to learn about,
don't forget, if you did not get a chance to see it, we've actually interviewed Verona Blue, who was a bounty hunter in Jedi Survivor. Yes, she was also our special guest for our August 4th celebration that we had. So you can go back and check out that episode too.
And I believe we'll see her this April.
I believe so. That's kind of out of my hands. My job those that may or may not know, I'm helping VacaCon. My job is to round up some of the celebrities and artists. Then I pass them off to somebody else, and they make the final paperwork and decision. So I did my part.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we'll see. But if you want to go check that out, you can just go check out our past episodes, which have her. But if you want to know how the team took the story they had for Cal Kestis and raised it to another level, check out this interview and they discuss the kind of things they did. I thought it was a pretty cool interview. So go ahead and take a look at that. Again, in the description if you're looking at our upload and not seeing this one. All right. So that is your nerdy news for today.
can I make another quick little injection? And I may need some help with this one.
Oh
I
no.
also want to mention in the nerdy news there was a fantastic article written by Distance Nerding about our
Oh,
good friend Tim Donaldson. Do you know the name of that magazine?
spoiler.
Spoilers. That's it.
Yeah.
Spoilers. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
make sure to
believe
check
that
out.
was
There's a
it.
fantastic article by Distance Nerding again by about our friend Tim Donaldson, who was the youngest cast member of the original A New Hope Star Wars movie. He was the youngest person in the whole movie. He was one of the Jawas. Fantastic guy, fantastic family. So make sure to check out that article if you can.
And if you can, please also check out Distance Nerding YouTube channel. They have a podcast they do Tuesdays and Thursday nights. That they even have one like the build where they interview a guest and also make a Lego build on the same time. Which to me, like my multitasking couldn't do that. I can do some multitasking, but like that's one thing that my brain, I guess maybe I'm not practiced enough. I'm not very good with Lego. Guys, I wanted to make sure real quick before we move on to flow of the show. That Kevin Hogan had his last show with us recently. He's taking an indefinite break, but you know what? We need something to put there. So I have something new for you guys to try out. The only thing I ask is that you make sure you have some kind of other device near you, or if your device, if your device can play YouTube like while you're doing stuff on another part of it. Like I have the ability on my phone to keep watching YouTube while I swipe out of the app and do other stuff on it. So, but it's totally up to you, but you'll need kahoot.it for the website when you get to it. All right. So moving on, we have our flow.
I've got a couple of little announcements and things I want to talk about too.
Okay, cool. For flow of the show this week, we actually have James Kaiser, our producer, aka Darth Cephalus. They had the Spin Wars, which was this huge saber spinning event competition thing they had going, and they sent so we have a longer than normal flow video, but it's a good size montage of all these different spinning flow artists. So that's why right tonight it's called Flow Special, because it's kind of a special night for it.
So
guys,
this is actually the 10th year of the competition. Spin Wars. Darth Cephalus has been putting this on, and in fact, he told me that he had considered not doing it this year, but Darth Morbidius was one of the people who's been entering this contest for multiple years. He really made the push for it. He even contacted us to see what we could do to get the word out there. And so James decided to put the competition back on. So all of these clips that you're about to see are all of the entrants to people who enter the competition. Should you decide to enter the competition next year, know that they accept people at every ability level. Don't feel like you have to be a Michelle C. Smith to go out and compete. It could be, your second week picking up sabers. They will appreciate you and you can enter the competition. And Kyber Cave has a saber for the winner of this competition. So
yes,
let's check out the flow
saber. All right, so please enjoy our flow of the show.
Just like the street lights lit this town, like a fire in a blaze, gotta burn it down. Can't be afraid to leave this out. We got this far, don't know how. I see danger in us. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up. Tonight, we gonna light it up. just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we gonna light it up tonight. We gonna light it up, baby. Tonight we gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We gonna light it up now.
Wow. Thank you so much, James Kaiser, aka Darth Cephalus, for sending us the video that you've put together for the Spin Wars. That was always really fun to watch and hear and see, like even in the dark, like when you have the saber just kind of moving around and you're just really focused on the movement of the saber. Really enjoyed it. Saw some names I recognize. I remember like when I first joined a year ago, I knew nobody in the spinning saber world really, and now I see names I recognize. I'm like, hey, we've had them on the show before.
And
So,
it's fun
yes,
to
of
see
course
them in
they
that
won.
competitive format, because usually when we see them on the show, it's just like one person at a week. But that being able to watch that really made me think like I would love to go to a saber competition and see like a breakout flow battle kind of happening. That would be really fun to watch live.
That would be really cool. So yes, they won as usual. Saber Rattle was on its normal time start, which is 5 minutes after schedule. And John, yes, they are awesome flow artists. They were much more enjoyable. Now, you said you had a few things you wanted to announce.
I did. I want to thank everybody. Happy 2024. We have a fantastic year planned. Kyber Cave has a lot of huge changes. And on that note, I want to encourage everybody to visit kybercave.com and also visit kcpmerch.com. There you're going to be able to find all the best sabers at kybercave.com and saber accessories at a great price. All of them come with a 1-year warranty on the electronics. So if anything happens to it, we take care of it for you. And you will be seeing a lot of us out more on the road too. If you head over to kcpmerch.com, you'll be able to see that cool case that Mez just had. We have backpacks, shirts, all kinds of stuff. So you can
water
really
bottle, mug, notebook. We have so much.
There's so much stuff there. We really we have a lot of great ideas. We want to grow this channel. We want to grow our community this year. I think it's really gonna. I'm gonna say right now, Mez, we are at what, like, how many subscribers do we have?
1,567 around there.
I feel like we are gonna scratch 5,000 by the end of the year.
Oh my!
Do you think that's a bit ambitious?
It's always great to be ambitious.
I think with the scoring that Kyber Cave
shoot for the stars, but I don't like. I'll shoot for the stars, but don't expect it. That's what my brain.
Well, we have a whole year to push it out. I think with the traveling that we're going to be doing, all the great people that I'm meeting, all the brand new shows, exciting things that we have on this channel, I just can't see us not growing this year.
Yeah. All right. So that is fun. John has a question for you, and it's the important question of 2024 is, do I have a saber named after me yet?
John, we just had a new batch come in. So once I see a saber that we haven't had in our catalog yet, you are the next one to be named. So on this next batch that's coming in, I think we have some new stuff coming in. So I will let you know what that is.
The Abila saber.
I had sent you a message saying we owe you a free lightsaber because the repair is taking a little longer than we thought, and I will send you the one that we name after you. How about that?
That's exciting. I would call it the Abila saber. Like you can do anything your heart wants to, like your ability to do. I love it. I thank you. And then John said, "Thanks, bro." All right, and he said,
"We love you, man."
As well. All right. And yes, we have lots of changes coming to Kyber Cave Productions. And if you guys want to help support what we do and support our time, we have a Patreon. So you go to patreon.com/Kyber Cave Productions and you can support us for $1 a month. And you get little perks here and there. I took a long break, but I'm going to get back to getting the last few of the early episodes of Saber Rattle that are in our vaults onto the Patreon. And if you sign up for a Patreon, and he said that is beyond awesome about you sending him the saber. So if you get on our Patreon, you'll be able to see the past ones, and so you'll be able to see like the very beginning of Saber Rattle and see how far it has come since the early days.
It is amazing how far we have come. We've been able to talk to a lot of great people over the years. We also have exclusive content or exclusive gifts at different levels for our Patreon too. And at the highest 2 levels, you actually have a chance to win sabers. And at the highest level, which is what we call the family level, you have a chance at a one-of-a-kind exclusive saber. We give away a free saber every May 4th to our Patreon. We give away 5 sabers to our Patreon to our Patreon people. So as long as you have been in Patreon for at least 3 months, you are eligible for that, and you meet the other qualifications.
Yeah, so if you want to qualify for the Saber giveaway and want to be, and it happens in May, you will need to have been a Patreon starting next month to the May. If you were a patron after May for 3 months but had to stop, you will still be included in that giveaway.
Yes.
Just to make sure that everybody who had to stop being a patron understands. And John says, I want a Patreon Saber. It's so shiny. All right. And so, yeah, we have lots of changes. We have 2 new shows. We have one show that's already started that's new. Unpopular Opinion with your co-host here, Ark, and Anthony AC Allen, our resident drag queen, Rubik's Q Arcana.
So good
they're
to have him back
actually
on the
doing...
channel.
Yes, and I'm really enjoying the show. So they record a show together that is it's an upload. So they record it and then I edit it afterwards and upload it. Van here, who's not used to doing uploads ever, forgetting that it was an upload and would start talking to the non-existent audience, like the no live audience. He started talking to them like 3 times each recording. It's so
to be
funny.
fair, though, I do that often when I'm home alone by myself too. So
I'm glad that you're blown away, John. We also have the RPG, The New Order. We have the teaser trailer out. Please tune in, subscribe, and like our channel so you can keep an eye out for that. That's going to be a fun new show. Lots of pre-production work went into it. And even some extra stuff I'm throwing in there, like the thing you saw I designed. I'm not telling anybody else what that is, but Mark here saw it. All right. He says, I talk to everything.
That's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait for you guys to see all the hard work they put into it. I can't take any credit other than thinking it was a great idea when the idea came up.
Ark hasn't done anything for it.
And that's how you know it's going to work.
Stop it. You're not going to be too hard on yourself, Mr. Technical Difficulties. That's your new nickname. I'm going to call you Mr. TD, Mr. Technical Difficulties. Ark's new nickname. What's funny too is everyone knows Ark has this hilarious laughter. Like he has a very distinct laugh. Okay. I found today, I still have it, the track I took of a bunch of your laughs.
Right?
Yeah, I still have it.
Oh
and
my
I was
God.
like, maybe I should send that to somebody to have a little fun with. Who knows? But yeah. Anyway, all right. So do you have any more announcements before you like to introduce our guest?
I'm eager to get to our guest. He's been waiting backstage a little bit longer than we typically keep our guests.
Yeah, we also started a little late and it's our first day back.
It is a great way to start off this year. I'm so excited to be back with all of you. This guest that we have tonight, he is a local convention master. He puts on, I believe, 4 shows a year under the name Die Hard and Sons. And he's been doing this for several years. I've been to a couple of his shows. Always a fantastic time. Tonight, I want to talk to him and find out how he spins the magic that he does. So with no further ado, please give it up for Mr. Peter Salazar. Woo, how you doing, Mr. Peter?
Hey, how you doing, brother? Happy New Year to you guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's to you. Sorry about the little bit long wait there.
Oh, you're good, man. You're good. I was actually building some little Legos while I was waiting. So.
Well, I definitely want to talk to you about what you got going on in the background there. You are definitely a man that's got your hands in mini pots.
I try to, brother. I'm doing the best I can with everything. I'm doing the best I can.
Let's talk about the biggest thing that we have coming up. I am excited. This is going to be my first time. I've been to your shows as, just an audience member, but I've never been able to go as a vendor. And you have a brand new show that's going to be starting in Citrus Heights. Was it next 2 weekends, right? 2 weekends from now.
January 20th and 21st of this month, correct. It's Sunrise Mall and Citrus Heights, California.
How do you feel about that?
This is our second time back, so we're building from our home show. So it's called the Weekend Blender, not your typical Comic Con, and there's a whole story behind all that. You know, I don't want to drag it. I just want to kind of shorten it up and kind of, you know, keep it short and sweet. But we're based out of Fresno, California,
Yeah.
and Clovis, California is like right across the street. It's still part of Fresno. We now have a shop called Duh Time Machine. So 80s reference, duh. We just changed it not that long ago as we switched everything over to that from the to duh. So you got to change everything literally.
Right.
And so the mall show started here in 2009, and it wasn't called the Weekend Blender right away. I changed the name about, I want to say 3 times, and the concept about 4 or 5 times.
Right.
And it organically started to get that Comic-Con feel in 2016 when I brought our first cosplayer as a feature. And I didn't know what I was doing.
Did it start off as just more like things that you were doing in your store, and then it just kind of expanded out into the rest of the mall, like Venom or something?
Well, I didn't have a store in here until I've done several, like 2014, 2016, and then of course 2022. We just came in for the holidays in this mall since we already were doing a mall event here. I used to have a store in 2007 called Diehards,
Mm-hmm.
and then we closed down after a year. I went into booking live music and bands in 2008 with a couple other buddies that were in the music scene. And in 2009, we started to create the mall show. So I didn't come back into having a brick and mortar until, like I said, in December of 22. It was only going to be for a month. I acquired a new business partner. She's also, also sells retro vintage stuff in the store. And I had several people ran a little space out of here, but also worked here. And then now we kind of have a new phase of a new team in here. From a perler artist to a actual artist that does comic book work and other
Wow.
stuff, and he does his own little merchandise out of here. So we got another guy that does 3D printing, so they're all part of the store, and I got a couple of guys that help out, when they're available to help out. But this was only going to last for 6 months, and then we extended it 2 years just a few months ago, the Time Machine store. But the
Wow.
Weekend Blender has been building around that, and Sierra Vista Mall out of Clovis, I want to say owns about 15 malls or corporates out of New York. So we tapped into Tracy, which is West Valley Mall up north from Fresno, and then now Sunrise Mall in Citrus Heights. So now we're trying to do 2 shows a year there, like we do our 2 shows a year at home.
That's
so
incredible.
The home show is great. 14 years in the making, and it's doing very well. We just have to keep working, keep the consistency going, and now we're trying to take that on the road. And it's hard because I don't live there, but we're definitely network and build with vendors from up that way, and also the cosplay scene that's up that way. Cindy Rue Cosplays, Noel, another cosplayer named Noel. I mean, there's a handful of them up there. Hummin' too, which is Roger Pressa. I mean, all these guys are helping out. We got a couple that travel from Fresno to get up there. So we're very blessed and grateful that we have that network that's starting to build.
That's excellent. So has it been for you? I know we actually used to have a store in the mall like 5 years ago. And when we did our grand opening, we had a whole bunch of cosplayers come in. But I know that for us to be able to do that, it took we had to go through so many levels of mall management to get this. Everybody was worried about costume people or people carrying fake weapons into the mall. Has it been smooth for you? I mean, obviously, you've been doing it for several years. So, I mean, obviously it's been going well, but was it difficult the first year to convince them that this would be a good draw?
Oh, it was many, many years. It wasn't until I want to say 2022, like 9-10 years, that we finally got approval under new management that the general public can wear a full face mask for with their costume.
Right.
Otherwise, they can only put it on in the assigned area that we did the cosplay contest both days, which was a community room that we use in the mall. So Sierra Vista took me about 10 years to finally get under new management that it was okay to wear a full face mask in the mall. We also wristband the general public, and we safety tie any weapons and do a weapon and prop check. We try to catch them walking around if they slip through, and we're pretty good on catching. That way we make sure the mall knows it's safe and that the public knows that it's safe, that we're following the same guidelines as any other Comic-Con where there's no wooden weapons, nothing sharp, nothing metal.
Right.
Foam and plastic approved, zip tie all the any type of pistol or handmade gun that's out of foam or plastic. We still zip tie those triggers. Make sure they're orange tipped as best as we can to catch all that to keep it safe. Now, Tracy and Citrus Heights, the GM there, was a lot more easier to work with and was open to us. Just when we got there, we got approval right away, but we promised the same check-in process.
Right.
So
right.
we're doing the best we can to catch everybody as fast as we can, and then we may catch them unknowingly. They're not aware because most conventions it's okay. Even the ones that I'm a vendor at, there's never an issue because it's a little bit more free range. But when you're in a mall,
Right.
it's a different security and safety measures are in place where I still have to make sure I'm following the rules of the house and that we're doing our part. We're doing our part. So now everything is better. To answer that question, we're on a smoother path now. We just got to stay consistent with the check-in process.
Excellent. So are you guys like, are you in, say, an empty old store that's in the mall, or are you kind of in the main pathway spread out? How is the show arranged?
So the way I work with the malls is I can use and I rent out every space in the middle where a kiosk can go or any empty storefront.
Okay.
So I can utilize Sierra Vista Mall. We pretty much are pretty close to the selling out point now because it's a smaller mall. But we've gotten about 80 vendors in here.
Wow.
And then we're still building out of town where we're still 12 to 20 on a good weekend, and we're hoping to get more. There's still a lot of work to be done for being out of town because I have to go on a day off because I still have a day job. So I have to go on my day off that changes every week. I have to find a day where we can go up there and try to promote and leave flyers. And a lot of shops don't know us and people don't know us up there. So we're going to have to work harder. We're going to have to connect the dots and expand the network. And a lot of it's going to be patience and consistency. If you do the work through patience and consistency, I feel we'll be able to build it because those malls need something. They want it there. We're given permission to do it. It's not cheaper to go out of town, but at the same time, if we all build it together, it's like they say, if you build it, they'll come.
Right.
So, as a vendor, every show that I break away from the store to go do, when I get the time to go do it on a Sunday, sometimes I can do a 2-day on the weekend. Like, our last big show we did was Anime Pasadena in November. So when I can get away to go do those events, we're always taking flyers to promote everything that we're doing. And we're networking, and I'll meet new vendors, and I'll try to talk to celebrity if they're approachable. Or if I know the guys that put on the conventions, I could get the resources from them as we look at what's going to work within our budget, and we just try to build. And so that's what we're doing right now is we're just, you think that you've built up to a certain point and then you realize you really haven't done anything. And that's a good thing because then it keeps you hungry to keep building and pursuing and networking to find the right people to get these things to grow. So we stay within a mall circuit, which is different than most conventions out there. They do them at the convention centers or the fairgrounds or what have it. Right. We're outside of a mall. So we're trying to still use these platforms to build on. And actually, we're actually going to make our next big move in May of 2024 Memorial Weekend with a 3-day convention in Fresno.
Wow.
So we brought 2 people in that are actually 2 different promoters from North and South. And that one's called Omega Con because I feel like all of us coming together are trying to bring something Omega. So we have OhanaCon from based out of Turlock that does a lot of stuff up north as far as Blue Lake.
Right.
And then we have Bakersfield Collector Con, which they have 2 shops in Bakersfield and 1 in Delano. And they put on that one's Downtown Toys and Comics in Bakersfield. But then it's also Bakersfield Collector Con. So my friend Nick that puts that on, we're bringing him in, and we're bringing Ziggy in from OhanaCon, and then we're covering in the middle of the Central Valley to try to pull us all together to try to bring something different. That's what we're hoping.
It's like a California convention super con. You've got like all the super heads of all the big cons coming together to put a big show.
And we're definitely trying to do that. And those guys have been in the game a little bit longer than I have. We've done those next big steps. So we've been practicing in the mall to build to the next thing, but to never leave the mall behind.
Right.
You know, the mall is always going to be that free event twice a year to the general public wherever we go with the cosplay contest, to keep it family friendly and build with that. And then we'll break away and do one big show a year. And to be honest, for right now, that's the template that we're going to build from. You know, I still have a day job, so I got to do this all around that. We have a store now 6 days a week, and you know, I can only do what I can do, and I'm doing everything I can do, and I'll have good people that are part of what I do, and they help out. We have a small team, a small crew, but it's working, and we're just trying to be as effective as we can be, and also as community based as we can be. We got a lot of work
you're
to
doing
do.
amazing things, my friend. Now,
Thank you
I
so
want to
much. Yeah, I
say,
appreciate
I
that.
can't remember offhand. I want to say it's probably been 3 or 4 years. I think it was before pandemic that I went to one of your shows. It wasn't in the mall. I want to say it was at a fairground as opposed to the mall. Do you find it? Do you like the mall better? Do you like the fairgrounds? Or do they give you different challenges?
Well, everything we do is always going to be challenging, especially even though I've done the mall so many times at home.
Mm,
There's always new challenges and things to learn from that I always come back and say, I could do that better. We can do that better. We can be better. We can learn from each show to
right,
correct the things behind the scenes that nobody sees and they shouldn't see, because
right,
they should just come and have a good time and not worry about the things we got to worry about. So
right,
there's things like that. Some are of great importance, and there's not too many times that they're extreme, but we have like a lot of those little things that we got to get the kinks out. And you know, it really comes down to those little things, because when you correct those little things and you try to make them better every time, it really is the little things that matter. So we're working on that. And the fairgrounds, this is my first time making the big move outside of the mall, but
mhm.
we made two moves in 2018 and in 2018 and 2019? Was it
That
19?
sounds about right to me. Yeah.
Yeah, 2018 we did a show called BrewCon, and it was at a brewery, but still family friendly. We had a custom beer can done for the event that looked like the flyer. I'm a
Oh
big
wow.
Wolverine fan, so the can, they have a skull with the hops coming out the top, and
Uh,
their graphic designer, we got to talking, and he put a Wolverine mask over the skull, and the back of the can was in the Wolverine blue and yellow of the suit,
right.
and it had the claws, and it had our logo, and it was a awesome beer. It was like a Mexican ale that I had threw my 2 cents in to see if we can get that with that
Right.
can collaboration. So BrewCon was our first move outside of the mall, 2018, because I wanted to practice so we can get to that point where I felt confident stepping outside of the mall. And that was
Right.
a pretty good turnout. And then in 2019, I believe it was 2019 because it was before COVID, we did an event called Die Hard Con, which was a self-titled Comic Con after Die Hards. And
Right.
that was at a veterans hall, which was inside and outside. And they have a nice, beautiful park area that's huge. So we
Right.
had vendors inside, food vendor in there, food vendors outside. We had the, beer garden, still family friendly, cosplay contest, DJ. We had a couple celebrity guests. So it was another learning experience that turned out to be really good. 600-700 people that we can count with tickets through the door. That's not
Wow.
huge numbers, but outside of the mall, for us to pull them away from the mall to
Yeah.
completely go on the other side of town to a whole different spot, it actually worked out pretty good.
Right.
And then
Right.
we come back to the mall. What did we learn from that? And we just keep trying to get better each show that we do, even if it is free to the general public. I mean,
Right.
we don't have the biggest budget. We work with vendor fees, and we still have to make everything work and get paid for. And you know what? At the end, as long as we're not losing our tail on it, and we're getting better at building, and we're building a free event, and it brings the community together and something
Right.
family friendly, we feel like that's how you're still winning. You know, not and it's not necessarily financial. It's more community based building. And if you can build with your community, then you always hope, if you're doing everything as best you can, that they will follow what you do
Right.
based on their experience. So it's about building the experience and the fandom and a place for nerd culture to go to and to feel safe at and feel at home. And I'm a big nerd, Star Wars fan since I was probably 5 years old. I'm 49 now. I watched Empire Strikes Back in the theater with my dad, and I mean, I got my toys still from my childhood. And this shop here is not even work to me. It's work, but at the same time, it's a whole different kind of caliber of work where we love what we do here, and we love the things we find, and how
Right.
we connect those bridges to your childhood memories. When people come in and say, "I remember I had that." Oh my God, they trip out, they freak out, and that's a good feeling because when you're hunting and you're personally picking through all this stuff up and down when we travel or we buy collections, you're like, you really hope this goes to a place of a person who really is that fan, and that's what happens
Right. Somebody
when
that's gonna love it and appreciate it.
yeah. So I mean, it's fun, dude, and we're having a good time, and it is work, but it's a different kind of work. But I feel like this is a home outside of home, and it's a place to come in. I have a little office here I could put my toys in, and when I go through the toys, dude, and I'm building Legos or I'm packaging figures and I'm looking things up and piecing
Right.
things together, and you want it to look good when you put it out or get it as complete as you can and let people know it's 90% complete, 50% complete. That stuff is fun, dude. It's just fun. We
Right.
love what we do here, and we're just trying to build, like I said, off of the love of the fandom.
Oh, believe me, I sell lightsabers. I tell people I have the best job in the world. Everybody turns into a 7-year-old again when they come to my table.
You know, I bought one, and I never normally don't spend that much on one, and I bought one a couple years ago at an anime show, and I love that thing, dude. And I'm spinning it around like I think I know what I'm doing, and I don't. I probably dropped it, and I probably hit myself with it. But it's just you feel like a kid again when remember Christmas time. We get those wrapping paper rolls,
The
and we have
tubes.
the yeah. Or I mean, when my daughter, when we're in Target, and I walk by, you know, I grab a pool noodle, and I start hitting my kid.
Right.
Not hard, you know, I'm playing with my daughter, and she grabs, and we start having like a lightsaber duel. I mean, it's you know, dude, all that stuff, what you sell and what we sell, and all the other guys out there that sell and we buy from and collect. It's just, dude, it takes you back to the day when everything felt easier, right? As a kid, when you escaped through watching those movies and playing with your toys and collecting, you know.
Right.
And so
So I,
it's a
I'm
great thing
sorry, I
to have in the
apologize.
world,
I want to ask you. So you do what? Roughly 4 to 6 cons a year
right?
at
Now
this
by
point?
doing now newly with Citrus Heights and Tracy, I'll be up to 2 a year per mall, which leaves me at 6, and then adding OmegaCon, I'll probably have 7 this year. And
Wow.
the crazy thing is, dude, is I only get a weekend off every 6 weeks. So I have to plan around my day job. And when I do take a vacation, I usually take that vacation to be at an event.
Right.
So I have to really figure it out. You know,
Right.
I have to figure out how I'm going to do it. And that is a challenge. And working, when you asked earlier, I'm sorry I didn't feel like I answered right. When you asked about working with the mall and working with like a fairgrounds or something, I
Right.
feel very comfortable with the malls because the template is very similar at all 3 malls, and I know what they expect and what they want and what I'm allowed to do and not allowed to do. And I know when I can push the line on what we can do, and I know what we shouldn't do.
Mhm.
You know, as far as based on, let's say, some vendors we can't let in based on what they sell. Got to be careful with like swords and stuff like that, or anything that is not family friendly related. You
Right.
know, whether it be content and art that is not really good for that type of atmosphere. So it's not a lot, but there's a few things. And then when
Right.
you deal with the fairgrounds, it's a little bit different. They don't really care what you sell, but you still want to carry the same template of how you did build your events. And you don't want to bend it just because now you have more freedom at a fair.
Right.
You still got to kind of draw the line. And the fair is new to us, working with them as us personally booking with them when we've usually just been a vendor there or assisted any promoter in the past that is at the fair. We just help with whatever they ask if we can help with. But the fair is a little new because we don't have control with the food vendors.
Right.
It's what they want to bring in. We're going to hopefully see if we can at least throw a couple of suggestions on the food out there. They control the beer, the concessions, the food. Um, there is a little bit more freedom there in certain things, and then there's not as much freedom in certain things.
Right.
So
Right.
the fair is a little new to us. It's its pros and cons. I like them all, but then we kind of get limited. We can't bring food vendors out. I get asked all the time, can we bring our food truck? Can we do it? And I'm like, I wish you could, but we just can't have it at the
Right.
mall, and we can't really have it at the fair. So it's pros and cons with both. You know, fairground event, you can actually charge for the event, a ticket
Right.
price to get in, which can help you do better things with the event. And at the mall, I'm very limited what I can bring in as far as a celebrity guest because our budget isn't as big. So
Right.
there's pros and cons on both sides, and we're trying to figure them out the best way to work with each venue when we're going to be there.
Right. Well, you just answered one of the questions that I had up and coming, but I had a couple here. So you have 6 different shows. If I go to each of your shows, should I expect a very similar type of show each time, or do you do themes for shows, or do you try to make each show like very well recognized and dynamic for doing this thing here and something different over here? Maybe this show is always Star Wars and this show focuses on board games or something.
That's a good question. So every show is going to vary because it's going to vary on what celebrity we try to bring in on their availability. And then every city is going to host different vendors because my Fresno Clovis ones may not travel to Citrus Heights or Tracy, although a few have.
Right.
So we're going to have to pull from vendors out that way. We bring a little bit from here and then we try to pull from over there. And the different cosplay groups or communities that are up there vary as well. And their cosplays do change, I want to say, each show.
Mm.
We try to do a couple of themes in the past in the Fresno Clovis show. It's kind of hit and miss, but we were trying to do an 80s kind of throwback theme where we wanted everybody to kind of consider cosplaying characters from like
Nice.
the 70s and 80s.
Right.
You know, maybe wear like the classic Daredevil suit. You know, do a
Right.
different version of the Scarlet Witch because everybody only knows what they see in the Marvel movie. So we were trying to do that. We haven't given up on it. The gaming is going to vary based on the availability of working with those types of businesses or vendors as well. Like we've had gaming here before, whether it be TCG or video gaming, and that's probably going to change this year as well. And we've only been able to do a little bit of TCG and Tracy and Citrus Heights, not yet, but we're trying to see what we can bring in. So it's about just being consistent up there and then also trying to talk to the shops to build a friendship with them and letting them know, like, we'd love to have you here. And what I've been offering with, and if this word gets out, it's fine, is when I go up to a new shop and I ask if I can leave flyers, I also offer them the first table free at the event.
Wow.
So if we have a shop over there, they don't know us because we know how it is. People come in, they want to leave flyers and posters, and you don't even know who they are half the time. And you feel a little weird about it. You know, not everybody is as inviting and opening on it because you don't, sometimes their approach or the way they come in, you're like, God, if you would have just been a little friendlier when you came in, you know, we would love to see what you're doing. So I feel like they might treat me that way as well. And I'm not entitled to anything when I go out of town. I have to earn that respect and trust and friendship and build with them. And I want to work on that with those shops out of town because they are the pillars over there. They're the ones that are open 6-7 days a week, you know, and we don't want to feel like we're taking anything away from them. We actually want to extend out an invitation to a shop over there to say, hey, I'd love to give you the first table free as a thank you for letting me leave flyers and maybe hanging up a poster.
That's fantastic.
So that's what I did over a week ago when I went up there to a couple of the stores that are around the Citrus Heights area.
Right.
A friend who's a vendor from out that way also gave me some guidance on what shops, I mean, to stop by and say hello to and see if I can extend that invitation out to them.
Yeah. So when somebody goes to a Die Hard and Sons show, there's a couple of things that you've talked about already. You've talked about having celebrities there. Sounds like you talked about having costume contests. What should somebody expect when they come to one of your shows? Are they always family shows, or do you do ones that are maybe geared more towards the adult crowd?
Well, because of the mall atmosphere, I feel what our niche has kind of become unknowingly that it was going to become that is since we were kind of already in the template of a family atmosphere, we kind of want to keep that vibe at the mall. So I guess what everybody can expect that it's more of a laid back event. It's a cosplay contest that we're trying to build to get better. It's stuff we're giving away, stuff that we bring, and once in a while we get donations, which is great. But a lot of the stuff comes from my collection, my shop, and we give that away as a thank you for coming out, supporting and dressing up, having fun with the event. Just want to let everybody know it's more a little bit relaxed, low key. Various vendors that we're trying to build that variety. Everything will kind of be a little different. We try to move people around so they're not in the same spot all the time. That way they see it doesn't. That way they don't feel like it's the same thing every time. So it is a beginner show out of town and a building show. So we hope as they come out that when they let people know about it, that we could try to build with that. And the celebrities, I mean, we've worked with a handful of people from Star Wars to The Walking Dead to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to we had Vernon Wells from Mad Max 2 and Commando, and we've had oh my God, I'm trying to think who we've had. We've had a handful of people. We have Rita Repulsa, Carla Perez from the Power Rangers. We actually have her in Citrus Heights.
Yeah, I was going to say she's on the flyer for Citrus Heights.
Yeah, she's going to be there, and she's already from Southern Cal, but she's excited to come out that way. And she's never been to Citrus Heights. She's been to Sacramento, I believe, or Stockton in the past, but not really oversaturated over there. And we've worked with I should know this, right? But we've had a handful of people that we brought in from, like I said, Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles, Star Wars, some of the cult classics. We brought in Melanie. I don't want to mispronounce her last name, but she was actually the voice actress she was a voice actress who was Lucy in the Peanuts in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
We brought her down from Austin, Texas, I believe we flew her in.
I think it's like Melanie. Oh, I'm big. Melanie Cohn.
Yes, and I apologize. I know her name. It's just I'm looking at one of her items signed right now, and I should know it. But we brought her down. She was such a sweet lady, so awesome. New to the game, she didn't. A lot of them don't really discover that they can get into the circuits until they actually tell people what they've done and they start to get in. So she's never been here before. We flew her in, and then we've had like Len Smith, who was a very underrated artist that we've had him down a lot. He drew Toontown and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. He created Tailspin characters that were from the 80s and I think it was the Snorkels, and he did like the Oregon Ducks logo, and he's done Disney stuff. He worked for Disney, and this guy has done a lot of awesome stuff, man. So we had him down here before, just very underrated, not known for what he's done, even though his resume was very impressive.
Yeah.
So we're trying to reach out and get new people to come in, and so that's what they can expect at the malls, to hopefully meet a celebrity, meet some great cosplayers, some different vendors, come out for free, no charge for parking, no charge for entrance fee. It's just one of those free events that they can come out to, join the cosplay contest, take pictures with the cosplayers, get an autograph, walk around in the mall for a little bit, check out a mall that maybe they haven't been to in a while. We hear that here at the Clovis Mall, Sierra Vista Mall, that there's people that are like, we haven't been here in a while. We haven't been here in years. We haven't been here longer than that. And then now they come in, they find us here, and they find whoever's still in the mall. And I think the malls can still be saved if people still want to get out and do it. It's not just online all the time, but it's changing times. So we're doing the best we can with the platform we have with the mall events to try to bring something different. We're trying to do that every show.
Yeah, I appreciate you for doing that, Peter. I was we did an event August 4th in Sacramento, and I had brought in 3 Star Wars celebrities. Verona Blue, who's from LA. She was in Jedi Survivor. She was one of the bounty hunters. We had a Jawa, Tim Donaldson, who was in A New Hope, and Alan Fernandez, who recently passed. He was a Tusken Raider. But we did a free convention in the park. It was kind of an experiment to see, to bring the convention outside. And we wanted to have something where, I feel like when I was growing up, and I'm a little bit of an older man, but there was always, maybe there were church events, or there was always community events that as a child that, didn't come from a rich family, I could go to these events and, maybe I couldn't buy all the toys and things I wanted, but I could still have a good time and go do something. So I appreciate it when people put on events like that, because not everybody can afford to get into SAC Anime or some of these larger cons.
And that's what I didn't realize that this was going to happen. Honestly, like I was just here's how I looked at when I started in the mall in 2009. I was trying to put on a show that I had unlimited freedom to promote, unlimited ways that if whatever I put in could come out or come to this event. So as seeing other shows as a vendor, I've seen some promoters do a great job. And I still hate the term promoter, dude. I don't know why. Maybe because it's got a bad rap, but you could call me an organizer, whatever. But you know what? I'm always going to be first as a collector.
Right.
I'm a collector first, and then I'm a business. So, but I'm a collector first. I have a lot of stuff in my collection. And nothing has to be high end. I just collect a lot of different things. I just love toys. I love toys. I love to collect a lot of different genres and things. And when we started in 2009, I mean, I had a cheesy name called Welcome to My World Mall Show. It was the cheesiest damn name I thought of, because I was like, well, I'm welcoming you to the world that I'm in, and I'm trying to see how we can expand it. So that name didn't last very long. And then we went to another cheesy name in a couple of years because I hit a brick wall, and I'm like, I got to change this now. It's got to evolve to something. The next step, I called it Rockin' Shop Indoor Mall Show. And the reason why I called it that is because I was booking live music and bands, working with the local scene.
Right.
And we brought in acoustic sets with some of the bands I worked with, and they were just jamming out in the middle of the mall, unplugged, and entertaining the people as we had a show going on.
Right.
And then that hit a brick wall again, and like it was time for a change, or I was going to hang it up. And I was trying to do something outside of the mall by the movie theater in the park area called the Sunday Blender, which was going to be one a month. It was going to be a kids art hop, live music, and vendors. And the vendors could have been various vendors. And I never got a chance to do that. They didn't approve it because they were doing a country or a rock type of event that they did. It used to be called Rock the Mall. And I don't know if they thought that was going to conflict with it. It wouldn't have, because we would have had a different niche. So it didn't happen. And I was kind of bummed. And I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with this mall show? And now I can't do anything outside, because I wanted to use outside event to pull people into the inside when we would do them. So it hit a brick wall. So then I thought, why don't I just change the name to the Weekend Blender?
Right.
And we'll just start changing everything in here. And I brought a cosplayer out in 2016, and it just took off from there and organically got a second cosplayer, the second one in 2016. And then all of a sudden they started to bring more people in. The attention was there. And they started calling the show a con. And I'm like, in 2017, 2018, I'm hearing everybody calling the mall show a con. And I'm like, it's not a con, it's a mall show. So then what I had to learn is I had to shut up. Everybody's calling it a con. I had to accept it and be quiet and let them call it what they saw it as.
Right.
So it became a con. So then that's when I tagged it the Weekend Blender, not your typical Comic-Con.
Love it.
It all happened organically, unplanned. And there's times I sit back and I look out there and I'm like, how the hell did this happen? It wasn't even on the script in the agenda. And I just went with, this is what the people wanted, so this is what you give them. They wanted that.
Right. I love it. We only got a few minutes left, but I wanted to make sure. Do you know offhand, and I apologize if I'm putting you on the spot here, but do you know some of the dates of shows that you have? I know we talked about Citrus Heights is coming up here on the 20th and the 21st. Do you have other shows that already have dates after that?
Yes, we have our first half of the year already on schedule up to May, and then we'll start doing our second show dates for the last half of the year as soon as I can get those figured out, which by the time we get to Citrus Heights Sunrise Mall by the 20th, 21st for that weekend, I'll have the next dates lined up for the next Citrus Heights to pre-promote. Okay. We do like flyers, so that way from that event we'll pre-promote basically our second round of shows. So January 20 and 21st we're at Sunrise Mall in Citrus Heights. And then we're back at Sierra Vista Mall here in Clovis. If you guys want to check that out, that's our home show. It's a great show. It's packed here. It's a good time here. It's worth the trip. That one is March 2nd and 3rd,
Okay.
2024. So first weekend in March, we're going to do our home show, which is a really great show. And then we're going back to Tracy, West Valley Mall. And those dates are April 13th and 14th. And we sent you guys a flyer that looks like VHS is stacked up that has the dates on there.
Excellent,
And,
excellent.
Yeah,
and I know our director's really good. She's probably going to have it in the descriptions down below. But I just wanted to give you this time to let people know, because some people are different. They do better when they hear it as opposed to reading it.
Yeah, no problem. And the last one up for that first run is going to be Memorial Weekend. And that's May 25th, 26th, 27th, which is Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Memorial Day. And that is at the big Fresno Fairgrounds. That is the show that's called OmegaCon. That's going to be our Memorial Show weekend. So that's what we have in the calendar up to May right now.
Excellent. Excellent. Man, I can't believe with all that, with running your shop, your family, everything else, I can't believe you get any sleep at all.
All I need is a good nap every now and then, and I'm recharged, man. But it definitely is not. It's not easy.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's not easy, but I love it, and I love what I do. Like I said, I don't look at it as a job, even though we have to deal with the business part and financials and so forth. But I mean, I love what I do. I mean, we close at 6 o'clock on Sundays, and I'm here till 9, 10, 11 o'clock.
Right.
You know, working on stuff, putting stuff out. Every week we put new stuff out. We have plenty of stuff to put out. I'm hunting as much as I could possibly hunt, and I'm looking for those things that I hope people will love and want to collect. And you know, even if nobody buys anything when they come in here, we want just to see if they think we're doing a good job as far as looking around. And we heard good feedback. You know, we try to give it that retro, that vibe. We're not done in here yet. We did some painting. It's funny because when you asked about the mall, we actually took over an old Victoria's Secrets.
Oh, wow.
So we painted the front. The front of the store is painted orange and yellow for the color of the Back to the Future font. And
right,
then as
right.
you step in to the middle of the store I'm at now, we did the ceiling's white, of course, but the walls inside the middle room are blue and yellow for the colors of Wolverine's suit. So I'm a big Wolverine fan. And we're going to do the front of our counter to look like kind of like his suit with the buckle and the X and the tiger stripes on the counter right here. That's blue and yellow. So we're still working on it. We got a lot of decor to hang up and props and stuff to make it visually appealing and fun when you come in. TVs to hang up and speakers to put up front because we always want to play that 80s music and more and keep that vibe and light the incense and have the different colored lights going on. We want to give you that experience and that vibe when you walk in like you went into a time machine.
I love it.
So even if people don't buy anything, the feedback is just as rich. It's just it's just like if they bought something. It's great because we hear the good and the bad. You know, we don't hear a lot of bad, but you need to hear bad. You need to hear somebody not like something, or how come you don't have this? You can't carry it all, but their feedback is very important because that schools us and shows us what kind of path we should be on. So
I wanted to come in and say someone asked about your collection behind you, so I wanted to pop into that. That doesn't get missed.
Everything that's in here right here that you can kind of see, this is the store. My personal collection, I only have a little bit I have, you know, a good amount in my little office, and I have stuff at home that hasn't seen the sun in a long time. One day I hope to have that Smithsonian, you know, set up. I always say my dream home is like the Bruce Wayne Manor, where he just has a room full of armor suits and, you know, samurai armor from Japan and swords and all this other. I mean, that would be like my collection of everything. I would love to just have like that museum and that area. That's I don't even care to have home decor. Like I would completely hang up my toys on the wall and comic books and pictures and autograph stuff. I wouldn't even care to have a normal home.
Right.
But everything that you're seeing now, this is all in the shop. You know, from NASCAR to action figures, comic books, Funko, collector cups, custom Legos. We have a little bit of vintage clothing. We have trading cards. We have little knickknacks and stickers, a little bit of anime that's not mainstream genre anime. It's all the other genres that are normally not flooded out there, and some Transformers and G.I. Joe and collector helmets like Stormtrooper, Power Rangers. Like, we just want to carry it all. I wish we could carry it all, but you know, we're doing what we can to carry what we feel people will like. VHS tapes and cassettes and records, and I can go on, man. We love all this stuff. We love all this stuff. But my collection, I mean, I don't have an area to put it, man. So, but you know, I have a little office of fun stuff to remind me that why do I do this? You know, for the love of collecting.
Right.
And, but this is, you know, what you see in the background is pretty much part of the store right now. You're looking at just part of it. So,
well, we absolutely love what you're doing, Pete. I want to thank you for all your hard work with the cons, obviously with the show, putting on great events for people to go to, even if they don't have a lot of money to spend. Do you have anything you want to leave people with before we close this up?
oh man, I talked your guys' ears off, so I think I'm good.
Well, I definitely, if it's okay with you, I would love to talk to you in a couple more months, hear how the shows are going, find out if we have that end of the year schedule, and you know, just keep people informed about what's going on.
Yeah, I would love to be back on whenever you guys want to have me, and hopefully, like in the next couple weeks to a month, we should have the next leg of scheduling figured out. I just got to coordinate around the day job, you know, like I said, and I'm definitely gonna figure that out some way somehow, and so we can keep doing 2 a year in Citrus Heights and Sunrise Mall like we do 2 here in the Fresno Clovis area, and just keep trying to build and see where it leads us and takes us. I will tell you this though, I do enjoy to close out, maybe to add this in. Sometimes I just enjoy just being a vendor at a show and not having to coordinate nothing. I love to be behind the table, talking with people, meeting new people, finding fun things out there that I can either bring back to the store and sell, or sometimes I have to make sure I pick something up so it's still fun to me,
Right.
and add to my collection. So I don't mind still being a vendor and being out there when we do make it out there. I love coordinating the stuff. I want to make sure I don't forget where I came from, that I still do shows as a vendor though.
I love it, man. I actually love being a vendor as well. You just meet so many cool people, and they all come to you. You don't have to go. They all come to your table.
Yeah, it's fun, man.
Sorry. We had 2 things. Also, someone asked how wheelchair accessible is the store?
Inside the store?
Yeah, like I'm guessing. Go to your store. Is your store wheelchair accessible? And
Yes,
I'm
it
guessing
is.
one level. Cool.
They look at me and ask me what I'm doing, because when we set up our shelving in here, I actually put my hands out as if I'm somebody trying to wheel through to make sure that I'm fit.
Yeah, that's great.
And
that's wonderful.
And it's not it's me looking out for when they come in here. Are we accessible for them to come in here? And so
yeah, and
we definitely try to
believe
keep.
me, they really appreciate it.
Yeah, I think it's like 3 feet, 32 to 36 inches, if I'm correct. It's somewhere in that realm. But I know I definitely stay wheelchair accessible when they come in here, and I'll even sometimes ask them, "Are you getting through okay?" You know, so that way, if not, we're gonna fix it right away. So
right.
And they also, the same person will ask, "Do you have a 1980s era Lion Voltron robot set?"
Let's see.
I'm
gonna walk with you guys.
Shopping on. Well, we're trying to run a show.
Check
They're doing personal shopping.
Let's see if I can show you guys. I do have one.
Oh. Wow, look how big that store is.
Let's see. You see it?
Oh, up top.
Up top.
There it is. It's waiting for you, John.
Yeah, that one is from my personal collection, and it has the I don't want to sell price. Because I think I have one more and I can't find it, but it's not as complete. But you know, just to kind of show you guys, this is part of the store here.
Wow.
and we still got to get more stuff out somehow, some way. And we got, like I said, books. I love books, so I buy a lot of books from for adults to kids, and I got VHS and DVDs.
Wow.
And we got Hot Wheels, and we got action figures, clothing.
Hey, Pete, I got one more question for you. I know we're supposed to get you going, but now that I'm seeing your story, another question popped up. Do you have to deal with, like, when you watch the news and everything, you're seeing so many retail stores are closing down because of, smash and grab and robbers and stuff. I have a retail store myself, but I'm not in a mall area. I'm kind of out in an industrial area. So people that are coming to my store are specifically coming to see me. Do you guys have big problems with that, with the way theft has been going lately?
There's always going to be theft when you have a business and you have items that somebody can put in their pocket. We watch everything as best as we can with cameras, and then we have, people by the door, people floating around. We've probably had some little things here and there disappear. It's not real bad. The mall security is here. PD is definitely around this mall quite fluently, and we haven't had too many problems. But how can I say this nicely? I don't think they want to find out. So
let's leave it at that. I love it.
It's best that they probably look elsewhere if they're thinking that.
Right.
So, but we try to keep an eye on people, but we also make sure we're not singling anybody out. Like, we make sure they leave bags at the door, and the ones that throw a fit about it, they just don't come in. And I can't apologize for policy, because we got to make sure that if we tell one person to leave a bag at the door, that we got to tell the next person if they have one that's open.
Right.
We don't worry about Loungefly backpacks, because those are like people's purses when they come in.
Right.
Some of the women. And then we try to make sure we control the food and drink, because we have had kids or people come in and drop drinks, and it's a collectible shop. So if they get upset about it, we can't really, we don't want to argue with them. Like, we're not trying to start a fight. We just try to tell them, I'm sorry. We don't even try to say I'm sorry, but we don't want to be inconsiderate. We just let them know, like, we are in a collectible shop, and we need to make sure that we're protecting the stuff that's in here.
Right.
And so we hope that if they do understand that. I mean, we've had kids come in here with cotton candy, and then they touch things.
Yeah, get everything sticky.
We can't, now that item's damaged, they're not going to pay for it. Usually they're not. And we just got to be careful. We got to be, the main thing is you got to be courteous and polite to everybody. Right. And that's what we try to make sure, that everybody that works here is courteous and polite. You kill them with kindness. We don't want anybody to come in here and feel any other way. We want them to come in and have a great experience, but also respect the house rules. Like, please leave any food and drinks at the table when you walk in, and please be considerate. Like, if your kids are eating candy, like, we can't have it in here. We have to protect our stuff,
Right.
Right. But
again,
it hasn't been too bad, and we hope and pray that it doesn't for any business,
right?
Any business out there, because it is trying times right now. But I do feel, usually when the economy's bad, the only way, when it's already down, there's only one way, and that's up. So right. We just do the best we can here, and we really try to be as polite and nice to everybody as we can.
All right. Well, Peter, I thank you for your time. I wish your business, the time machine, the best of luck, and all your conventions. I'm going to be seeing you here in a couple of weeks, so I'm super excited about that. But yes. Again, thank you for your time, and you have a beautiful evening, my friend.
Awesome. It was nice to meet both you guys. Thank you so much for having us on, and we appreciate it. We'd love to come back whenever you want us back on, and I look forward to talking to you. That's right. We got you booked with us for Citrus Heights, so we look forward to having you with us out there.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. You guys have a great night. Thank you so much.
You too. Happy New Year.
All right. Happy New Year. Take care.
Hello. Oh my goodness. That was
So
fun. I
that's the
enjoyed
one
that.
that we have coming up in like 2 weeks. So you may or may not be working that one. For everybody in the audience, Kyber Cave will be at that event. I will be there for sure. Mezzo possibly may be there. We shall find out soon.
If you want to see me there, tell me in the comments.
Yeah, that's how we'll get her there. Everybody comment bomb.
Yeah, comment bomb that we want Mezzo.
Okay, very good.
I will say I don't really expect any comments of that, but that was really fun. Thank you so much, Mr. Pete Salazar, for coming on. I really enjoyed the conversation, listening to it and popping in randomly every now and then, because for those who've watched the show long enough, I regularly do that.
Thank you for helping me out with the questions there.
You're welcome. Yes, because if you hadn't noticed, Van's got a different angle than usual. He left his entire computer in a different city hours away. And yeah, up the nose angle. So he's in a completely different city. His computer is hours away, and it's being mailed to him. But for now, he's just on his phone, and it's really hard for him to see the comments. And so I told him I would pop in for the questions that weren't being reached or anything. So that's why John and your stuff was able to get answered, because I was like, well, I ain't gonna leave John's stuff not answered. Psh, no way.
And John, I appreciate you asking those questions, especially the one about wheelchair accessibility, because that is something that does affect a lot of people. And sometimes, not that I necessarily do it, but sometimes as a shop owner, if you're not dealing with these things directly yourself, or if you don't have a close loved one, maybe sometimes you don't think about these things. So that was a great question.
Just the fact that they get anyone who's who's handicapped, and the fact that a store or any business thought of them is just, even that is just a huge thing. Like that, you feel like you're not invisible or forgotten in a sense, and because sometimes that's what it feels like when you're in that kind of a group. All right, so normally at this time of the show we would have Kevin Hogan's segment, but since he is not with us currently, he's on indefinite break. I have something kind of different to do with you guys. So if you have a device that you can, a separate device, or you can watch the stream while you're doing this on your device, go to kahoot.it. Okay. So this is a fun kind of thing. So we will be doing John just said we want Mezzo. We're going to be doing Star Wars trivia, and it's going to be hard. It's the hard level. So if you want to play, you get in there and you can play against me. So I'm going to hop in right now. I have a whole app, the Kahoot app. There is actually an app. And what you do is you hit start, and you'll get a pin. You go to kahoot.it and you put this pin in 5973843. And then they're waiting for players. They have this whole kind of video stuff and whatnot in the background. Well, I'm not gonna have music on because of copyright.
Yes.
Until it starts, but as you can see, there I am. I can change the way I look. I can give myself an accessory of saying 2024. I'm gonna do those shades there. But also because, let's see if I can find it. I want a cat. So if you guys pull up on your device, go to kahoot.it and play with me. Steven, are you at the store? You better get in there.
Jump on Kahoot. Kahoot.
Yeah, it's my on social media inside TikTok. And people know. Yes, awesome. Thank you.
Jump on. Oh.
You gotta tell him the number on the screen.
I can't see any number. Oh, sorry. Oh yeah. I'm surrounded by screens.
Mr. Technical difficulties. He doesn't know how to look at anything. Oops.
All right.
Let's clear it out.
And whoever jumps in tonight, we got a set of lightsaber chopsticks for the winner of tonight's event.
Oh, snap. Okay, you gotta get in here now.
It's about to get real, y'all.
You gotta get in here, guys. Come on. I'm the only person in here at the moment. Where is my audience? Get your booties in here. This mom is mobbing you. Get in here. Get your butts in here.
Where are you at, John?
I'm gonna play against you. One thing you guys might have noticed is I'm not wearing my massive headphones that I do. They're great quality. I wanted to try something different, and I've got these guys on for listening. And so then I can wear my hair nicely and have earrings and you see them because that's stuff you can't use when you have headphones. All right, come on. If there's nobody there, I'm gonna play all alone.
Steven's trying to do the thing right now.
Are you in bed, John? NorCal,
No, she
there's
said
Steven
she's gonna
there.
play alone. That's not what she said, Steven.
What
This
do
is
you
the family
think I
show.
said? Oh, goodness gracious. Happy New Year, Kevin Hogan. If you would like to join us on the Star Wars trivia quiz, go to kahoot.it and put in the code you see at the top and then put in your username that you'd like to have for this round. And then we will play some Star Wars trivia together, which will be lots of fun. All you need is a browser and kahoot.it to be able to do it.
Where are you at, John? I know at least John's in there. I can't see all the comments. I don't know. Where are you at,
John
Duran?
said John's in bed. I'm not sure he can join us for the actual thing. But John, the way you can play with this is you can put your answer of what you think it is into the comments. So if you can't join via a different device, just put your name in the comments. Just know that there is a slight delay between you posting it and us seeing it. It's like a 5-second delay, I think. So it could be just kind of like that weird timing thing. But yeah, Kevin Hogan is in the quiz.
Yeah,
Woo-hoo!
it's getting real now.
Thank you very much, sir. We got 10 people watching, so I think we could give you like 1 or 2 more people in there. Come on. Come on, Clevis. Because once I hit start over here, we start. And I have not seen any of these questions. I wanted to go in blind myself for the quiz. I will probably lose, and that's okay.
Please don't blind yourself.
The pin, John, is 5973843. It is at the top of the stream currently. You can see it in the window there.
Ooh.
Ba-da-boo. It's gonna be fun. It's not super long, so it's not like we're gonna be here forever or something.
Is it like 5 questions or something, or?
Oh no! It's longer than 5. John, yay! John's in here. Okay,
yay!
I'm gonna count 10, and I'm gonna start it at the count of 10. So
sounds good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, here we go, guys. Kevin said they did quizzes like this at San Francisco Comic-Con. Well, we are doing that now. The sound is off because it had some copyrighted music, so I had to turn the sound itself off. So hopefully there's no like.
All right, here we go.
Okay, so what does TIE mean in TIE Fighter? I think it's this one. I'm not certain. So then you tap the answer you believe it is on your device. And then there's a set time for each question. So right now there's 6 seconds left. You put in your answer as quick as you can. The faster, and then like 3 people. I was wrong. I did 2 ion. I misread it as 20. If 2 people answer the same, give the same answer, whoever answers first gets more points. And so that's the way the game works. All right. So here is our next. Here's the scoreboard. Steven is the only one that got that correct. All right, the next question. What were Anakin's first words after being named Darth Vader? Oh, jeez. I don't think it was. I am not going to be good at this because I don't think I don't like. I like Star Wars and I enjoy them, but I don't watch them over and over. So like the certain moments like this, my brain can't think. You are correct, Vanius. Thank you, my master. I said it was silence. All right. Let's see. Nobody got that right, it shows.
Oh, I got it right.
Well,
I mean,
not
I know
an
I
actual
count, but I got it right.
What does ATRT stand for?
What? ATRT.
ATRT. Thank you, Pete. Got your message. I enjoyed having you on as well. Hey, I got that one right. All-terrain recon transport. Everybody who was in the quiz got that correct. And that puts right now Steven is at the head with a 600-point lead almost.
Wow.
How old was Yoda when Luke returned to Dagobah?
Oh,
I really have no idea. This is why I said when it was said Star Wars and it was hard, it's like the details of things, not like who was Darth Vader to Luke Skywalker? I got it correct. I'm so shocked. Hey, I am in first place now with a 367-point lead. How many moons does Endor have? Oh gosh. I'm not sure. I don't know. I see Van answering in the comments. Giving his answers. It is 9 moons that Endor has.
This one's a guess
so
for me.
Scoreboard. All right. If I actually win, I'll be very shocked. What ship was the Millennium Falcon originally? Ooh.
Oh, and then they're gonna Tia Carillion.
It was the YT 1300. I thought I just wrote always the Falcon because in my heart it's always the Falcon. John moves up to second place with a 5-point lead over third. Ooh. All right, next. What planet was Leia on a mission to before Vader attacked? I have no idea.
I know. I think you know.
This makes me feel like I need to watch Star Wars again, all of them. It was Alderaan. All right. Who got that one correct? That was Kevin Hogan, sir. Next, who was Qui-Gon Jinn's master?
Oh.
I think I knew that one. And if you don't know, Qui-Gon Jinn was Obi-Wan's master. Dooku, Van says. Which it is correct. It was Dooku. Ooh, NorCal Heresy got Steven in second place, Kevin in third, and John in fourth currently. Next question. What was the Ewok village name called on Endor?
Oh my goodness. Wow, that's a tough one.
It's some of the, like I said, it's hard. It's kind of some of them are pretty obscure, like you've had to watch it several times, like many times, for these facts that are kind of out of the nowhere and one-time things in your head. It is Bright Tree Village.
Is it really?
The correct answer. Yes.
It's not
Lucas and that brought Steven and Kevin Hug. No, it is not. In the trash compactor, who said one thing's for sure, we are all going to be a lot thinner? Who said that? Gosh, that's a good question. I just put a random one. Is it? Van says it's Han. Was it? I guess we'll find out. It was Han. Awesome. All right. So standings stay as they currently were. What was wrong with the droid R5D4? I think I got it right, but I really don't know. Like it's like almost like it felt familiar. Bad motivator, Arctic Scholar claims, and he is correct. So let's see. Leaport is still the same. I know Van would be probably at the first place if he was on there. Who killed Jango Fett and Geonosis? Oh. Gosh. I don't know. I don't know at all. It was Mace Windu. All right, Kevin and John's points went up. What was Obi-Wan's droid name that was attacked by Buzz droids?
Ooh.
This is one of those ones I also have to guess another like random one.
I gotta see what the choices are.
R4P17. And guess who got that right?
Not
Your
me.
girl. Your girl here.
Woo!
All right. What did Luke see in his vision to the future? I'm not sure. There's two that I think it could be, and I'm not sure if which one's correct. So
Oh, whatever.
Ark says payment. Death.
Oh, what did Luke see? My bad. Sorry.
Yeah. No. What did Luke see? The answer is Cloud City.
Yeah, it's Cloud City.
John got that correct. Good job, John. All right.
Wow, look at this.
How old was Anakin during the Battle of Geonosis? That's a good question. Age is just not something I paid attention to.
I want to say he was like.
He was 20 years old.
Oh.
And Steven got that correct. All right,
Still not able
next
to
we have
drink yet.
5 more questions. Who was the first Jedi to be betrayed during Order 66? Ooh, a good question. I don't know the answer. I just guessed a random answer. Yeah, 3 seconds. The answer is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh.
I guess Mace because of his death, his alleged death that a lot of people don't believe in, I've learned. All right, a few more questions. What was the number of detention cell Leia was held in? What was the number of her detention cell? Jeez. Making a guess. Those are the details that I'm like, let me tell you, when it comes to the OGs, it's been years since I've watched those. AA23 is the answer. Mezzo here, and Steven got those correct. We have 3 more questions. 18, 19, 20. Where is an AT-AT's weakest spot?
I'm
actually not sure.
I think it's his neck. Is that one of the choices?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, neck is one of the choices.
It's right there on the TV in front of you.
The answer is the neck.
It's not up here yet.
Arc Excala was correct. 2 more questions. How wide was the exhaust port on the first Death Star?
No bigger than 2. The same size as a Womp Rat.
Tiny, probably. All of these are tiny. I'm not even sure what Clicks is, actually. It was 2 meters. Then Steven and Mezzo got that correct. All right, last question, guys. What was Yoda's name during pre-production of Star Wars?
Greg.
That's not an option. Bob, the alien.
Oh, that's a. I don't know.
What? 4, 3, 2. Oh, it was Buffy.
Wow.
Interesting. Majority answered always Yoda. All right, our podium stands. Who is 3rd place? Kevin Hogan.
Woo!
2nd place, Stephen Harris. And 1st place is Mezzo.
Mezzo, you win some chopsticks.
How did I win that? Like, that's not. Like, I'm not sure how that works.
You're not officially an employee here yet.
Not yet, right? Oh my goodness gracious.
This may be the last prize you ever get a chance of winning.
Thank you so much for playing with us. We very much enjoyed having you on. That is
was fun.
Our tentative. Mitchell did the thing. Congrats. Thank you, Kevin. That is our tentative segment for while Kevin's on his break. We also might do we do have this on Saturday mornings, and it's actually kind of fun. And that's Mad Libs, Star Wars Mad Libs. The one that we actually did yesterday turned out hilarious. It was about Watto's Junk Shop. And so that one was kind of funny. Yes, it was fun. Duran said that was fun. So I'll be doing still things like that. They will most likely be Star Wars related. But things that are interactive. You couldn't see the answers, John. Oh no. I had them. Was it because did you have like because you have to be able to see the stream? Because I had the quiz up on the stream and it shows the answers below the question. So I'm not sure what happened. I'm so sorry. We'll make sure to get that sorted and we'll have it a little bit easier. You were random guessing. Well, you did pretty darn good for random guessing. You had some really good ones on there. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us for tonight. It's nice to be
It's
back.
so fun being back. We missed you all.
Yeah, it's been 3 weeks since we were on here. Like it's been 2 shows, but it's 3 weeks in time total. Don't forget to check out all of our so we've got you've got 2 new shows, one's currently on Unpopular Opinion. The first 2 episodes are out. And then we have the New Order. The teaser trailer is out, so check that out on the channel. And we will see you guys soon. Tomorrow, we have a Retro Alcove being released. Tuesday, we have Hearts of Kyber. Wednesday, we will talk about Wednesdays. I'll talk about that with Van because my internet isn't behaving during the day, so it's possible I can't stream during the day any longer, which is actually why on my Twitch channel I can't stream. I am doing strictly uploads on YouTube, Let's Plays at the moment. So then we have Thursday. We have Ladies Night Gaming that's on Thursday nights, and then Friday is going to be we'll do uploads on Fridays, whether it be Unpopular Opinion or New Order. We're hoping to have the first episode of New Order on Friday. It's just editing takes a while.
Yeah, and technically Ladies Night is kind of a newer show. I mean, we've always had gaming on
Thursdays,
it is.
But it's newer, but it's like a newer version of it. And then occasionally we have Anthony on there as well. So guys, just check out all of our shows. Just look at if you want to find out more information about our guest, his link to his Instagram is in the description. As well. So thank you so much, Pete, for coming on our show. Thank you, James Kaiser, our producer for Flow of the show, for bringing us Spin Wars. You guys all have a wonderful evening and enjoy our Talk of the Town.
Adios.
Oh my god, what is it? Get out! I don't need you anymore! Oh my god! Next week. Oh god! 7-year-old boy's dreams come true. How many pieces?